Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Vivid Service Management webinar this morning. Today's topic is a preview of the next HPE Service Manager and ITSM Automation Suite releases as of August 31st. Today's webinar is brought to you by the folks at Hewlett-Packard Enterprise and the ITSM team. Next slide. I'll be your host today. My name is Laura Walker. I work for Stratacom, which is an HPE Service Management partner. I'm a Service Management Special Interest Group leader for our chapter, as well as a variety of local chapters around the country. Next slide. We have 4 speakers today from HPE. They are Michael Pott, who is a Senior Product Marketing Manager, Scott Knox, a Senior Product Manager, Greg Morrison, Senior Product Manager, and Sri Subramaniam, Senior Product Manager. Next slide. Before we begin, a few housekeeping items. This is a live session and is being recorded. You will get a copy of the recordings, and you can also find them at the Vivid website as well. We will be doing a session Q&A, and that will happen at the end of the presentation. If you have questions as we're going through, please find the questions panel and enter your questions there. Next slide. If you're unfamiliar with the GoToWebinar control panel, if you don't see the panel extended already, find that orange button with the white arrow. By clicking on that, you'll be able to see the questions and chat pane, as well as a spot to answer the polling questions. Next slide. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Michael Pott with HPE.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. My name is Michael Pott, and also welcome you to this webinar. Here's one more householding statement, if you want. This presentation includes some forward-looking statements, so we have to include this statement as well as the one on the next slide. Next slide, please. So the confidentiality information, just so you know, we also have marked the related slide as you see later. So having that said, after a brief introduction that I will do, we will discuss the Customer Appreciation Program and then move into the discussion of what HPE Service Manager 950 is all about, followed by a demonstration of some of the new features, including the new service portal. Then we talk about HPE ITSM Automation Suite and how containers can reduce the total cost of ownership. I'll then close this webinar with some key takeaways, where to go for more information, and also we also have some time for questions. Before we move to the next slide, I would like to ask you a first question. We have 3 questions throughout this webinar, just to get some direction on where we should, focus on. So the first question is, have you seen the HPE Service Manager roadmap within the past 3 months? The answer is yes, no. I did see the 941 roadmap, but nothing on the ITSM Automation Suite. And I have seen so many roadmaps, I feel like Marco Polo.
Thank you, Michael. Let's give the audience about 30 or 40 seconds. So far, we already have about 80% of the folks who voted. By far, the clear answer so far is no, but let's give them a few more moments. Okay, we've hit about 90%. So the answers are 19% yes, 70% no, 9% I did see the 941 roadmap, and 2% I have seen so many.
Yeah, and thank you, by the way, for answering. So ITSM and the service desk, this is the introduction I mentioned. Why care? In average, almost 80% of a service desk resource time and capacity are consumed by phone and email. Per se, this is not a surprise, but it shows the huge potential to become more efficient. For example, by decreasing related ticket handling times, as you can imagine. Then further, to give you another number, 56% of IT users say that they try to solve a problem themselves first And 32% say that self-help is faster than contacting the service desk. Again, a huge potential to increase the service desk efficiency and to increase user satisfaction. And we'll see throughout the presentation how that connects to what we are going to present in terms of what's new. Next slide, please. The ITSM challenge. So even if we forget about these numbers that we saw before for a moment, the huge potential for improvement seems to be obvious when looking at many IT organizations. Why is that? A couple of points. The service desk often is perceived as being too slow. Users are confronted with an inadequate or limited self-service. There are too many manual, time-consuming, and often error-prone tasks. And finally, IT asset usage is unknown. For example, to understand the service disruption impact or license usage, just to name these 4 big buckets. Next slide, please. As a result, you have a business impact, a negative business impact, and this impact is inevitable. One, dissatisfied users go somewhere else for support, not to your service desk. The service desk is inefficient. You observe proliferation of shadow IT, low service quality, overspending on IT assets, and compliance and audit risks, just to name a few, and all leading to high costs. Thank you. Next slide, please. But there is a solution to this, and I don't read the whole slide. IT service management based on a big data service desk, which delivers improved end-user self-sufficiency, faster ticket handling, lower ticket volumes, and improved analytics to only name a few key capabilities. The results are evident: an improved end-user experience and increased efficiency. With this, I hand it over to Scott, who will take it from here and discuss how you can get there with the HPE ITSM A Automation Suite and Service Manager Customer Appreciation Program.
Hi, everyone. This is Scott Knox. Michael, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Most of you know me, I hope. I've been sitting in the same chair doing the same job for quite a long while. I can tell you that I am very, very excited about the directions that we're taking Service Manager. There's a lot of content here. I was surprised to hear that most of you have not seen the roadmap recently, and so I'm very excited that we can put this in front of you today. We have a polling question that I think we want to ask next. Laura, do you want to kind of bring up the poll and talk the users through that?
Absolutely, I'd love to. So our next polling question is, are you interested in the HPE Customer Appreciation Program? Again, find that panel on the right. Your choices will be either yes, not at this time, I am not on a version that supports HPE SM Smart Analytics, or finally, I am already reaching out to my sales team. We'll give you about 20 or 30 more seconds to find that poll panel there. We're at about 60% voted so far. A lot of folks are very interested. It's the most popular choice. Wait a few more moments. Hopefully we can hit 80%. Okay, it looks like almost everyone has voted. So the first choice, yes, is the most popular at 46%. The next item, not at this time, is 28%. The third option, 21%, is I'm not on a version that supports Smart Analytics, and 5% for I'm already reaching out to my sales team.
Beautiful thing. Okay, so what I wanted to do first, and I'm going to go very quickly because I have a lot of content to cover. Please throw your questions and make sure we understand them. We'll try to follow up as time allows, but we want to make sure we get the questions that you have. And so I'm going to zip through this. We're going to cover a couple topics. The first is the Customer Appreciation Program. What I'm showing you here is a slide that we've built out. We've shown it a number of places. We have some videos that wrap around this topic, but basically what we've found with our early adopters of the Smart Analytics engines and capabilities is that they're realizing real improvements for their business and real improvements for the IT staff, particularly at the front line or at the service desk. I've highlighted a couple of topics. I know it's a busy slide, but first you can see that both in terms of smart ticketing and in terms of hot topic analytics, the early adopters are realizing real savings that allows those agents to be repurposed, is the term I like to use, for ongoing savings, things like building out knowledge content or building out automation scripts that will allow the front line to improve the business effectiveness overall. The two charts that you see here are just representative. There are a lot of other charts we have access to if necessary, but what you're seeing is that there's an ability to reduce the handle time and resolution times in real demonstrable ways. This becomes valuable in your service levels to your business, but it becomes really realized in terms of the quality of the service that you're delivering and the effectiveness of your business doing the things the business needs to focus on. Right, so the Customer Appreciation Program is designed to allow you the opportunity to take advantage of smart analytics. And what we've realized is that the value of smart analytics is just too powerful to get it lost behind dollar signs and prevent your adoption by making it too expensive. So what we've done is combined two factors together. The first of those is that you have these modules of licensing today. These modules may be misaligned. You may have, more help desk licenses than change management, and maybe you need more change, or you want to do request fulfillment, or you want to start up on knowledge or whatever. So aligning licenses is one topic, and then the other is obviously how can I get smart analytics as a customer at a price that I can afford. And so what we've done is created opportunity for you that for approximately the price of buying smart analytics alone at a significant discount, you would be able to align your licenses, potentially gather new licenses, get smart analytics, and then move on to the IT Service Management Automation Suite at this express level, which then has secondary benefits that it makes it easier to maintain your licenses. It helps you to be more audit proof, and there are other benefits. But really the key here is for a dramatically discounted rate, you have the opportunity to get smart analytics and the values that we talked about on the previous slide. And by the way, the secret sauce there is if you are interested, don't hesitate to reach out to your sales teams. They know all about this content, and we can and help you get moved forward. Okay, Service Manager 950, and now I will definitely move into kind of hyper mode. And I apologize for sprinting fast, but we have a lot of content we want to make sure you get. So Service Manager 950 is the latest release. Some of you may have heard of it, called the Provence release. It is a major focus in our investment threads as we move forward. It is also the springboard between Service Manager and the ITSM Automation Suite, which Shri will talk about here in a couple of minutes. So the first topic that we want to talk about here is that we're trying to create new avenues for end user interact with the agents, particularly the agents at the service desk. So what you're seeing here is this idea of using big data and end user chat. You've all seen end user chat functionalities and other tools and other products, particularly shopping products oftentimes. What we want to do here is use this chat to allow end users to communicate with us, this new channel as we call it. Interestingly, and one of the really cool topics is that this end user chat will allow us the opportunity to intersect with something called a bot or a virtual agent capability. So if you imagine chat, as many of you are aware, when you do a chat conversation with an agent, supposedly, many times those first 3 or 4 questions that you get asked are driven by software. And so we're delivering this virtual agent technology to intercept the chat initially. There's a bunch of functionalities that will allow the user to get stuff they need without actually intersecting with an agent, which makes your agents more productive. It increases self-sufficiency dramatically. And then we'll see another example of this virtual agent and bot kind of technology here in a little bit. But the idea is, in this channel of chat, make it easier for users to get what they need. The next topic, let's do the exact same thing in email. A lot of you have built out email solutions, both inbound and outbound. This topic says I would like to take another channel of information from the end users to the service desk and to the agents via email, bring those transactions in, allow you to find information via email, automatically respond to the email, automatically open tickets, and then using that smart analytics or ticketing functionalities from the inbound email. I would like to generate tickets with proper taxonomy as we move forward. And many of you have heard me talk about taxonomies before, but now let's use a new channel, get new information into the service desk, get people off the phone. As Michael was talking about, it's a huge impact. And one of the things we believe is that agents are able to multitask more effectively and kind of run multiple activities, multiple issues in parallel when they're using either chat or email. Right. Chat ops. So this is an exciting new development. It is in fact available for those of you who are on 941. And if you imagine the idea of creating these chat conversations, there's this new idea called a chat room. And basically the idea is there's multiple technologies for this, but we get a bunch of people, they talk together in a chat room. You can imagine exactly as we're doing here on the phone, but if we were typing all of this, if we were in a link call, many of you do that, we do it inside of HPE, but you run the chat, you get people talking, they're interacting, we're persisting the conversation, and then we pass that through this thing called a WhoBot. It is again, software, much like that virtual agent. It intersects the conversations in the chat room with the back-end tools such as Service Manager, Service Anywhere. There are lots of use cases for linking people and systems with chat. One example that we commonly call out is the major incident process. We have a major incident, maybe it's an outage, we want to get a bunch of the people from various disciplines working together, and then we intersect them with tools, and we also would go in and have the ability to persist this response, which lets us use it later on in more smart analytics. It also handles many of the governance and compliance topics that you deal with. But dealing with chat, important topic as we move forward. Right. 950 introduces kind of a hybrid mode for all the modules. Now, some of you in 941 have moved to the hybrid mode, but many of you also are trying to get to the hybrid mode, but the size of the motion from classic mode to hybrid is concerning, and as a result of that, we've delivered this hybrid option that will allow you basically to move any module or any category within any module to hybrid mode, make it easier and less impactful on your administration staff and on your end users and consumers. Right, and so then here is my last little thing, and most of you are pretty excited about that usually. Oh, Scott's going to stop talking. Right, so we have a bunch of customer requested enhancements, and here you can see them. I won't read the slides, but there's a lot of improvements in these tactical activities that become very valuable. For example, refreshing the dashboards automatically, or allowing templates and multiple templates to be generated solves a tactical issue that many of you have reported. The ability to send email surveys and modify the survey results, and then doing more continuous improvements and doing reporting around that. So there's a lot of improvements in 950. There are technical awareness webinars being run pretty much as we speak. The content is out there, and what I encourage you to do is take a look at 950 and see what's coming, and hopefully you will find a lot of encouragement and a lot of capabilities that you've been looking for. And with that, what I want to do is hand it over to Shri. And Terry, can you switch him on as presenter?
Hello, are you able to hear me?
I am now, yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Scott. So I wanted to give a quick demo of how the existing 950 looks like, how the new service portal looks like, because Scott talks about the developments, whatever we have done with this product release. So I'm logging in to 950 of Service Manager as a service desk agent. And first, what we wanted to show you is the new chat capability, what we introduced with 950. Let me show you how to minimize this one. Okay, so even if you look at the overall look and feel, it's definitely the next big leap from the previous versions. So it's more intuitive. The screens, the icons, the fonts, everything is definitely has changed a lot with 950. And with 950, we also introduced a new service portal. Going to log in. So as you all know, the new service portal is the end user interface for customers to again request for catalog, and we have enabled a chat application inside the portal. So I'm logging in as Aaron. The new service portal, if you can see, it's a revolutionary product. The UI, the look and feel, the way you are going to interact with the next-gen service manager platform is completely going to change the way, again, the users and customers use our product. So here we have introduced several options, like what we call as launch pads, and for this use case, like if I'm an end user, I'm having a link quality problem when I do a conferencing call, I can launch the new service portal. I can go and search for knowledge articles here. I can click on it. I'll be able to interact with the systems, look for knowledge articles, and if you have heard like our Propel story, it's very similar. The UI, the look and feel is all like next gen. So I can search for knowledge articles. The global search will allow users to again get the search with faster results. And if I'm not happy, I can obviously open an end user chat. The chat icon will be available with all the screens at the lower bottom. I can type in things like, okay, link, call problems, So I can choose the affected service, and if I have a previous ticket, I can attach a ticket. And once you attach a ticket, it will directly open a chat with the live agent. So in this case, I'm not attaching a ticket, so it may be a new issue for me. So let's see what or how the flow works like. So immediately my search assistant, Sage, that's our branding strategy, comes in, and he is a robot. He's giving me recommendations based on the problems I just mentioned. I may click on this article, or I can go to this shopping cart and then really look for catalogs. So we can do several rounds of infractions with the Hubota. And if I'm not happy, obviously you're going to see this live chat with agent. I can click on it. I'll be able to instantiate a new chat session with the live agent. So in this screen, as an end user, I've already instantiated the chat, and I see 0 people are waiting in front of you. And now let me go to the IT service desk agent screen. So the help desk view, obviously you're going to see, okay, there is one pending request. I click on it. I'll be able to accept this request. I'll be able to see who the user is. I accept the request. And once we initiate this interactions, so all the things will be recorded in a Service Manager. The session, the live chats, all the historical data, whatever we transact between the session, and also we'll be able to see the history, because we'll be able to see that, okay, this user did report this, and my Sage agent also recommended a couple of articles, so that as an help desk user, I don't have to hand over the same kind of knowledge articles to the user. So in this case, I can also do a smart search here. I'll be able to look for any related cases, or I can recommend anything which matches my search criteria, and I can share the article directly from my smart search directly to the session. So we have added a share button here. I can share this article, and as an end user, let me go to the end user chat. So you'll be able to get details from the service desk agent that, okay, he responded with a nice article. I'll be able to troubleshoot, and if everything works, I can close the session, and I can be a happy customer. And at the end of the session, a survey can automatically be sent to the requester, and also we'll be able to do more interactive sessions with them in future. So very, very powerful features available in Service Manager 9.5 and the new service portal, and also I demonstrated some of the smart search capabilities. Now let me go back to my slides. So you saw a quick demo of what we have done with SM950, the new service portal. But now let's talk about the direction of where ITSM is leading. As you all know, we launched the ITSM suite recently, and we have basically two foundational suites, again tailored to solve specific business problems. An Express suite, which will have Service Manager, Smart Analytics, and Universal Discovery. That's kind of a very basic suite, and you can upgrade to a premium suite, which will give you power of automation and orchestration with OO capabilities. You will get ASM, Automated Service Modeling capability in Universal Discovery, which will give you top-down service modeling capability from an URL, you'll be able to decompose an application into its infrastructure components. Asset Manager, the entire product is included in the premium suite, so that you can now do all your basic asset tracking features. You can do total costs of ownership. You'll be looking at contract management, software asset management. I mean, it's end-to-end compliance-related use cases can be again solved with premium version of ITSM. Again, if you look at the overall strategy, why we need this to move to the suite licenses, what advantages as a customer you're going to get, right? So if you look at our previous strategies, the products have great features, but we did struggle with integrating the products into different for solving especially SACAM and CLIP and so many other integration related use cases. But when it comes to the future of product, we want to give more and more importance to the solution, to the overall experience for administrators and the end users. So the integration and testing and all the out-of-box best practices documentations will be tailored for this suite-related products, and also you're going to get more benefits as an end user, that it's a fully tested product. It's ready out of box. The integrations are going to use. It's going to scale up to my enterprise level needs. So let me give you 3 product updates of this ITSM automation suite. So let's start with Service Manager. Scott nicely talked about all the big features we introduced with 950. It's a revolutionary product with the new UI branding, and you're going to get the big data service desk with our smart analytics, the new self-service portal which is again which has the next-gen UI for the end users, and we have introduced chat ops related use cases, the new chat icon, which again will enable the end user to chat with the service desk agent, the smart email, and the improvements whatever we have done with 950 is all like a revolutionary and next gen vision. So with the 950, you're also going to get an embedded universal discovery impact analysis widget. And with this widget, you'll be able to launch the topology view, the impact analysis view of a service or of a server connected to different applications from your incident management or change management, problem management, you name it. So this is completely embedded. It will not give you like a new URL. You don't have to cross-launch it. So the UI is within Service Manager itself. And this widget gives you real-time visibility. So it's whatever discovery data you have in universal discovery, it's going to get all the relationships, the impact analysis into Service Manager console. A very critical feature for our change managers to get visibility into the change impact. Asset Manager 9.6 was released in the last HPE Discover, and this was again mainly the next gen of AM 9.5 release in terms of scalability, performance, the new web UI with simplified widgets, and also a lot of improvements done on the software asset management piece, especially on tracking IBM and Oracle related use cases. Also introduced AM browser, very similar to UCMDB browser for simplified reporting and dashboarding use cases. And also we bundled a usage hub, which is again a free product, but it gives visibility to all the HPE products, and it will give you usage statistics of all these products in a simpler web UI. And we have bundled it with 9.60. Universal CMDB or the CMS 1030, which is yet to be released. but the focus of this product is again to take the existing 10.22 release into the next gen code base. So it's in terms of performance and scalability, it's 3 times faster than the previous predecessor. We have introduced REST APIs to access the UCMDB data. Also added several content into the existing content packs. We introduced event-based discovery, which is going to be very unique in terms of discovering cloud-related use cases, where the legacy discovery has been more of a discovery pool, but in this case, we can eavesdrop into some of the events happening in the VM world and in cloud world, which can now trigger a discovery in real time. So again, a revolutionary concept introduced with 10.30. Also, there's more and more focus of simplification. So the new UCMDB browser, you'll be seeing slow transition of some of the administrative functions moving from the applet UI into UCMDB browser. You can get related CIs and also you can manage all the probes. There's a discovery troubleshooter available with the new browser. So slowly this transition is going to take all the admin features from the applet UI moving into the UCMDB browser UI. And now I wanted to give control to Greg, who is going to talk about containers.
Okay, thanks, Sri and Scott. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So lots of exciting things, as you can see, everything from simplified licensing and packaging to lots of new capabilities in the applications. Along with that, we recognize that customers are moving from traditional IT to the digital enterprise. Sri, I think you're presenting for me. Along with that, one of the things that we're really excited about as we go through this transformation underpinning effort for our customers is we've got a really exciting story to tell at the platform layer too. So we are doing a lot of work around platform modernization with ITSM, and the strategy there is really designed to lower TCO, accelerate time to value, and improve the overall customer experience. So we are just doing a ton of work around this, and we're excited about really having a game changer in the industry from the perspective of helping customers take advantage of some of this. So when we look across the industry, and I'm sure you folks experience this as well, there's kind of 3 key problem statements and customer pain points that we felt were important to target from a platform perspective. The first one is time to value is often slowed due to long release and adoption cycles. So if you think about a new capability that starts off in ideation or inception, by the time it gets through the entire life cycle on the vendor side and then gets delivered to the customer, and then the customer goes through the testing efforts and all the adoption and integration testing and those kinds of things, the actual ability to take advantage of those new capabilities can be months or in some cases years before the customer can actually fully realize those and deliver them to their customers. We also realize that the ITSM technologies today are traditionally difficult and labor intensive. So things that a lot of your ITSM experts in your organization are working on just to keep the lights on, doing upgrades, making sure there's enough capacity, making sure everything's running right. We're really focused on how can we automate some of those things and leverage some key technologies to, like Scott said earlier, to repurpose some of those really skilled resources over to things where they really can add more value to the organization. The other thing is, these highly connected interdependent service delivery stacks that they are far too complex from our perspective, meaning that if you look at the application delivery stack, a lot of cases, if you go to test a change or something at the infrastructure level or at the application layer, you've got to do all this up and downstream testing, both vertically and horizontally, to make sure that there are no adverse impacts. So from, some of the platform modernization work we're doing that targets those specific things, accelerated time to lower TCO and, improving the customer experience. One of the things that a lot of you haven't seen our roadmap yet, but we are in transition to these rapid release cycles where we're going to be releasing ITSMA every 3 months or every quarter to reduce or increase the time to value for customers. So what that means is we're going to really try and take those new capabilities and move them through the cycle faster in smaller chunks so that we can get them to market faster and customers can consume them on a much more accelerated rate. So one of the ways we're going to do that is we're leveraging Kubernetes and Docker to really create a series of independent services so that we can simplify some of this work that's going on both sides. So if we can deliver things like microservices that are totally independent, self-contained stacks that contain their own libraries and all of those kinds of things, so they become very easy to test and roll into the customer organization seamlessly. And then, coming back to Scott's repurposing statement, there technologies like Kubernetes and things like that really allow us to use technology to offload some of those, heavy lifting, routine tasks that your ITSM experts are having to do today. So things like, self-healing, auto-scaling, rolling updates, those kinds of capabilities, when we can deliver them using technology, that allows you to repurpose some of those really skilled resources over to areas that can add value from a process engineering perspective and just delivery perspective. So we believe some of these adjustments that we're making greatly lower customer TCO. And I like to use the term game changer because I think when I look at some of the I was on the customer side for a number of years as well, and when I think about some of the upgrade processes we went through, they were painful and difficult. Not from an HP's perspective, I'm just talking from an industry perspective. And we believe this is huge value to the customers. And then lastly, part of this containerization strategy that we're working on really spans across all of the ITOM suites. So there's a lot of work going on to look at how can we bring commonality across all the ITOM suites. So we're leveraging common technologies where it's easier for customers to consume and navigate through.
Greg, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to alert you, your audio is fading in and out sometimes, and I don't know if you're moving or if you could perhaps reposition the microphone on your headset. I just wanted to make you aware of that. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, okay, thank you. Okay, next slide, Sri. Okay, so Docker containers. I know some of you are probably using these today. But they, just in case you're not aware of them, if you look at the lower left-hand diagram, Docker containers are, have some of the same benefits as VMs. However, they're architecturally different in the context of the libraries and the applications are very much self-contained. So it reduces some of those complex interdependencies that we were talking about earlier. But they do share a common kernel and underlying infrastructure, so it makes it very simple. If you look at the lower right-hand diagram, it allows us on the vendor side to really create microservices and target our resources to make sure we're building things that are self-contained and interdependent. And then we can deliver those packages to customers, and it simplifies the testing and adoption on the customer side as well. And again, we can deliver these in smaller chunks, and it just has a variety of benefits to customers. Next slide. So Kubernetes is the orchestration tool for the containers that we chose, and part of the reason we chose this is because we believe it brings a really rich feature set to our customers. And again, when we were talking about some of the things your ITSM resources are working on today, we believe Kubernetes can help solve some of those things using technology. So things like self-healing, horizontal scaling, load balancing, automated rollbacks and rollouts. Really, this is a huge one, the last one. It's just really important because, if you think about a microservice that you can roll in and out, it really simplifies the activity of moving it into production. And if there is some kind of issue with it, you can back it out very quickly. Okay, next slide. Michael, I think it's you next.
Yes, thank you, Greg, and thanks to Scott and Sri, by the way, great content there. Before we close with the key takeaways, I would like you to ask to answer a last polling question to get some pulse on, what you are feeling, were the most exciting subjects. So which area of the roadmap strategy are you most excited by? More smart analytics, service portal based on Propel technology, ChatOps and bots, though I have concerns about Skynet, platform modernization, or I'm so ready for the service asset and configuration management and solution agenda extensions.
Okay, again, we'll give you about 30 seconds to make your selections. You can find it on the right-hand side. So far, we're already at about 60% of people who voted.
What I want to know is who decided to throw the Skynet reference in there?
Okay,
wait,
it looks like we're stalling out around. We're at about 75% and holding strong. So our answers to our poll, the first option, more smart analytics, is at 18%. About 34% for service portal based on Propel. ChatOps and bots, 17%. Platform modernization at 23%. And 8% so ready for SACM.
Yeah, thank you, Laura, and thank you to all of you for answering these. This is pretty much along the lines what at least I sort of expected. So thanks for that again. Key takeaways. Next slide, please. There are many, but again, from my perspective, and that ties back to the content as well as to the very beginning, 4 key takeaways. 1, smart analytics powered by the Big Data Service Desk is attainable via the Customer Appreciation Program to dramatically improve agent effectiveness and user experience. This means you can leverage big data via smart analytics as a service manager installed base customer, through the CAP program. If you don't have service manager yet, for sure you also get smart analytics via the ITSM suite, as Sri has outlined. 2, the HPE ITSM suite strategy and direction. With a new container strategy, it reduces the cost of ownership and allows customers to realize the value of solutions such as service asset and configuration management, closed loop incident process, and config change and release management. 3, HPE Service Manager, Asset Manager, and Configuration Management System product updates, as we have seen that also in the content part of this presentation from Sri, deliver many new customer requested features and value with much lower adoption upgrade cost. Like the Show Impact widget, for example, for the UCMDB browser. Number 4, HPE Service Manager Service Portal. The new portal based on HPE Propel technology with a new virtual agent and chat to significantly improve end-user self-sufficiency. So these 4 points substantiate what I have started with, the statistics, the values, efficiency, user experience. And in order to get more information about HPE ITSM solutions specifically, next slide, please. I also have compiled, next slide please, a couple of pointers that some, maybe most of you are already familiar with. Number 1, there is 2 external websites. One is for ITSM, and there also you find a lot of information about ITSM suite, and then this page also leads into the service desk solutions, specifically Service Manager, but also Service Anywhere. And if you want to follow the latest, greatest news on those products and solutions, just check the blog, Twitter, and or LinkedIn. With that, before we come to the Q&A, I again want to thank Laura for hosting us here, and for sure Greg, Scott, and Sri for this excellent, What's New presentation. Thank you. I think we can move to the Laura.
Are we ready for questions?
Yeah.
Ready for questions.
All right, wonderful. So if you haven't already submitted questions but you have them, please find the questions panel on the right, and we will get through as many as we potentially can. The first question I'm going to check out very quickly is the session being recorded? Yes, it's being recorded. It'll be emailed out as well as available on the website. The next question I have is, will it replace SRC?
So I'm happy to take that one. So the question, will the new portal that Shri was demoing today replace Service Request Catalog? We have to be careful about how I say this. Service Request Catalog will remain available for customers who want to use it for as long as you need it to be available to you. We realize that you've made an investment. We don't want to force you off of products that you've invested in. We know that's very sticky, and we're very careful there. Having said all of that, we also realize that Service Request Catalog is an area that is in need of improvement. We believe that the service portal based on Propel is a much better technology stack. It is a much longer term viable solution, and from that standpoint, yes, we believe that the new Service Manager Service Portal is the direction and will through time replace SRC. And essentially what we're envisioning is, as you look at the new service portal, as you find it viable and appropriate, you will adopt it and you replace SRC when you feel it is sufficient for your business needs. And from that standpoint, yes, we expect it to be a replacement. The question is when, and when is it perfect for your consumption. Oh, and by the way, one last thought. Many of you will look at the portal that's available and want to adopt it today. I don't want to imply that you have to wait. Okay, back to you, Laura.
There's a lot of questions around the new portal. Is it Propel? Is it replacing Propel? So I'm going to lump a bunch of those questions together. Can you talk about Propel and the new portal and how they're one and the same or different?
Yeah, so good question there. The technology of the new Service Manager Service Portal is Propel. It is the same basic functionalities. It's the same code for this discussion as the Propel solution that's available for separate purchase today. The difference between the Service Manager Service Portal and the Propel standalone version is that the Service Manager Service Portal limits the fulfillment and the aggregation of the catalog to one HP tool, Service Manager today. It limits to a single fulfillment engine using Service Manager, and also the Jumpstart functionalities are limited, and finally the standalone Propel offers a service exchange capability that is not available in the SM service portal. So hopefully that makes sense. There is, since it comes up in other conversations, I've heard it before, I'll say yes, if you decide you want to start with Service Manager Service Portal, can you relatively seamlessly upgrade to the standalone Propel portal solution and all the rest of the capabilities? And the answer there is yes. They're essentially the same code base, and the migration and adoption is very straightforward. Okay, hopefully that answered the question. Back to you, Laura.
Thank you. So I have another two that are related about the technology the portal is built on. So I'm going to give them to you both so you can answer them sort of together. The first question, is the service portal built off Flash like SRC or a different technology? And the second, is the portal Java-based? It says SRC has a lot of problems, especially for mobile devices.
It is not based on Flash, and the technology of Propel is I want to say it's HTML5 in Java, and it is much, much cleaner for use in consumption in the mobile devices. And principally, I'm thinking a mobile device is often tablet, not the small form factor phone form factor. But yes, we definitely are keeping that in mind. And in fact, one of the things I'll share with you is that our UI designers are trying to adopt a mobile first paradigm, which means we build and design user experience and user interfaces from the idea of the mobile devices, and then back port them or port them over into on-premise technologies and web clients secondarily. Sorry, lots of words. Hopefully that was answering the question. Shri, would you add anything to that response?
Yeah, so the responsive UI is definitely something you can look for in the new service portal. It's built on AngularJS, so it's very flexible, very similar technology what you see in the again mobile whatever mobile technology whatever we have, but the new service portal, right? Again, what we have done is like we have done several rounds of testing even in the tablets, and it works great in tablets, by the way.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Laura.
Okay, great. There's a couple of related questions. When is this going to be available?
That's an easy question. And we are, I know historically we have not done a great job of being able to tell you based on HP rules and standard finance and accounting considerations when things are releasable, but this Service Manager 950, the next version of the ITSM suite, and the corresponding portal solution are all coming your way. Originally targeted for the end of September, most likely now it is the first couple of weeks of October. And will almost certainly be, everything we see today is this will definitely be available to you by mid-October.
Wonderful, thank you. Let's see. Next question. I remember idle engine for big data and social networks are present into this ITSM initiative. Is it true?
The idle engine is the foundation on which we run the big data solution. It is available in Service Manager, and we're looking to extend it into other functionalities. You see it in the portal. It's definitely exposed for the portal, so Smart Chat, Smart Search and related functionalities are available in the portal, and then we continue to expand it out into new usage of the idle engine in asset management and in CMS. Shri or Greg, anything to add there?
No, that was good.
Okay. Laura, why don't we do one more or two more? I don't know how many are left in the question.
We have quite a few. We have quite a few, but we can probably address those in email as well. The next question, which of the Service Anywhere features are planned for Service Manager?
Oh, there's a really interesting question. So great question. We are trying to align functionalities where they're appropriate between the on-premise service manager and the Service Anywhere hosted SaaS-based delivery. Generally speaking, those features that are in Service Anywhere, especially related to big data, especially an example is change analytics, those functionalities are moved, the designs are moved from the Service Anywhere platform to the Service Manager platform. Perhaps the deeper question that slightly different is, will there be a convergence between Service Anywhere and Service Manager, or will we try to pick up and provide an on-premise version of Service Anywhere? And the answers to those questions are, at current, no. We're looking at how to provide these two parallel products through time. We have no plans to deprecate either of them. We have no plans to converge them. We believe they solve different market needs, and we will run them independently as we move forward.
Okay, thank you. The last question we'll do is around licensing for the service portal. There's a couple of related questions. So if you can discuss licensing, is it similar to SRC, which is free? Is it similar to Propel, which you currently need a license for? So if you can provide any clarification around how they will purchase or own this functionality, that would be great.
Yeah, great. So the license for the new service portal is the same as the licensing for SRC. Fundamentally, what that means is the technology is included as part of Service Manager. To use the capabilities of smart functionalities, you need the Smart Analytics license. For the functionalities around catalog and knowledge, you need the Employee Self-Service KM and Employee Self-Service catalog licenses, exactly as they are inside of ESS and SRC today. Now, having said all of that, so basically the licensing model, the Propel based Service Manager Service Portal, essentially free. End user use is licensed according to ESS. Having said that, as part of the express level and that customer appreciation program, when you move from and use that cap program, one of the key changes is that you receive a very large quantity of employee self-service licenses. And as a result of that, what we envision as we move forward is that if you are on the suite at 35,000 feet, obviously, you know, your mileage may vary a little bit, but generally speaking, if you're on the ITSMA suite, you should not have to worry about self-service licenses. And fundamentally, that means that the portal becomes free for you and is basically just a part of the Service Manager offering.
Okay, great. Thank you, Scott. Let's see if we have any final slides to address before we close today. If you want to bring up the slide deck, usually we have a link to surveys. Okay, a couple of upcoming webinars. We do have one tomorrow. If you haven't already signed up, please do so today. You can find the link here or on our Vivid website. Tomorrow's webinar will cover ITSM self-service technology and how it makes a strong business case. He'll be talking about the free FastPass cloud. We also have one coming up on September 8th for what's new in Service Anywhere, August release. So we'd encourage you to join both of those as well. Next slide. Thanks again for attending today. We do have a short survey and an opt-in for more information from HPE. We'd like to thank all the product managers for taking time to visit with us and share the roadmap and what's coming. It was helpful information, and I hope we'll see you on our upcoming webinars. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Terry, are we out?
I'm still on.
Me too.
I just didn't know if we were still in the recording and or in the customer session.
No idea.
Yeah, the screen says we're still recording.
You still on? I think we can leave, Scott, right?
I think so.
So, yeah, if we want to connect, we could connect via Skype. So.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. See you guys.